On a pouring, rainy night, where buildings and bodies lay scattered on the ground, suddenly the sound of footsteps splashing through water echoed from the side. A figure of a woman appeared gliding across the water surface at godlike speed. Seeing this, the pursuers behind shouted, "She's escaping!" Each held a weapon, and the order rang out, "Don't let her get away." Then a hand rose, emitting a faint red light. From behind them, a voice sounded, "That's enough." It turned out Grandmaster of the continent Zhongli Chu, along with several others, had arrived. His eyes filled with killing intent, watched the woman who had just fled. Now consciousness is most important. The scene was truly grim. The old man looked down at the dying young man and growled, "Kim Si-hyuk." Zhongli Chu then showed a mysterious smile. Someone from a small country, quite impressive, but that's all. A fallen hero like him isn't qualified to surpass the limits. As he spoke, his smile grew more savage. Finally, I can be true to myself. Am I, Zhongli Chu, not worthy of becoming a god? He looked up to the sky and roared, "Do you see I, Zhongli Chu, have kept my promise to you?" Instantly, crimson lightning crackled above his head, and a sharp eye appeared. The eye was crimson like a cat's, and from it came a mysterious voice. "Indeed, you have done it, Zhongli Chu." Zhongli Chu's face beamed with happiness. "Now it's your turn to fulfill your promise. Elevate me. Let me become a constellation of Earth." As the last words were spoken, a dense, dark aura enveloped him, to become a celestial god. A voice replied, "Very well." At that moment, the system's voice rang out. Constellation requesting the birth of Earth constellation, the Brava 274. X2. Analyzing. Target is not qualified. Just those few lines left the old man stunned. But the system remained unresponsive, expanding search range. Text appeared next to the man's body confirmation. The qualified candidate to become a constellation is deceased. There is no longer a reason to continue the galactic arena on Earth, Majanga 274. Hearing this, Zhongli Chu yelled in frustration, "No, what is happening?" A notification sounded. Protection rights for Earth, UA 274, have been withdrawn. The galactic arena on Earth, the UA 274, is officially cancelled. The eye above mocked him, "Oh, Zhongli Chu, it seems you are not qualified." This infuriated the old man. "You dare deceive me!" He decided to cause a scene. "You clearly said that if I killed Kim Si-hyuk, I could become a constellation." The eye clearly showed annoyance. "Correct, that is what I said. As you wished, I requested your ascension. It's just that you are not qualified." As soon as the words ended, electric sparks shot out. The old man was hit and cried out, "Argh!" Even the men behind him couldn't escape their ill fate. In that instant, Zhongli Chu still yelled "bastard," but the mysterious entity laughed heartily. "Ha ha ha, how amusing. This moment always satisfies me." The eye somberly declared, "Before everyone I shall enjoy devouring your world." That day rain poured relentlessly on the ruined village. A woman burst through the door calling out Kim Si-mun. Her face was etched with fatigue as she asked, "Are you doing that again?" But she only saw a pile of junk on the floor. A man was busy working on something on the ground. "You're here." Seeing him, the woman scolded loudly in frustration. "No, the whole world is falling into chaos, and you're calmly working on this." But she only received the reply, "Besides alchemy, what else can an alchemist do?" At this point, she could only sigh in exasperation. "You really are something." Finishing her sentence, she threw a bag onto the ground. "Here, take this." Seeing it, the man's eyes lit up brightly, and his hand was a special potion that made him curious. "This is..." Information popped up instantly. "Elixir, level. A legendary product of alchemy, known as a divine medicine, effective even on gods." The woman could only sigh deeply. "Don't you realize, just as you predicted, that bastard Zhongli Chu betrayed your younger brother?" The words echoed, but he didn't seem to register them. "But Si-hyung, older brother Si, didn't use this." She poured out a long explanation. "I thought he would use it, but after all the guild members died, he threw it to me." He merely replied coldly, "Is that so?" By then she no longer had the mind to pay attention to him. "Anyway, I've paid my debt to you." Hearing this, brother Si-hyung froze stiffly. "What debt?" He let out a soft sigh and said, "Are you still holding on to that?" The woman replied somewhat awkwardly, "No, it's just partly because of my revenge involving your younger brother." He remained sitting coldly in a corner. "That's not it. Your revenge is justified, and those people deserve to be punished." Although a bit sad, he understood clearly. Your revenge and Zhongli Chu are two separate matters. Hearing this, she was left speechless, mouth agape. "You really..." After a moment, she decided to turn and leave through the door. Seeing this, he tried to stop her. "What are you leaving already?" He heard her say, "I need to fight." As she walked, she recounted what happened earlier. "I saw it just now. That bastard Zhongli Chu summoned something terrible." Those words directly shocked him. "What?" But he only received the reply, "You saw the system notification too right, that the protection rights were withdrawn." The mechanical sound of the system echoed. "Protection rights for Earth, Mag 274, have been withdrawn," accompanied by her words. Yes, it appeared suddenly and startled me. It said the qualified candidate to become a constellation was deceased. Those notifications kept swirling in his head. Confirmation, the qualified candidate to become a constellation is deceased. It made him think, if there's such a thing as constellation qualification, it must have been my brother Kim Si-huin the Holy Sword. I don't know about others, but I understand him well. Thinking this, he tightly gripped the potion in his hand. I'm the only one who knows Si-huin's condition. The woman standing opposite also seemed quite frustrated. I don't know what's going on, but everything is really going to hell. Although they were together, she said, this place probably isn't safe anymore. You could really die. As she spoke, his curiosity grew. But why aren't you running away? Responding to the question were soft words. You know I'm not the type to run away. I have no reason to live anymore. Finally, she still tried to instruct him anyway, don't throw that away. Remember to drink it, because the proud holy sword sacrificed his life for it. Kim Si-mun heard this and replied wearily, sorry, but it was originally mine anyway. Malsuk was caught off guard and said coldly, oh, is that so? Anyway, I'm leaving. She walked proudly out into the rain thinking, thank you for everything, Si-hyuk. Just then, the system sent a message, status window title, class magic affiliation, career level 1, strength 1, agility 1, stamina 3, magical power 0, trait infinite magic achievement, points 5,000. Seeing these numbers, he sighed in despair. As expected, my stats are pathetic. Now everything is meaningless. Kim Si-mun held the potion firmly, murmuring to himself, I need a power source for alchemy. How can everything be so perfect? Now he suddenly remembered the potion in his hand. After awakening, I dedicated all my time to this result. Without the emerald jade tablet, I wouldn't even have dared to dream of this. Simon mentally calculated everything. Perhaps because all that remained was resentment my spirit never broke. I even managed to create the elixir, the pinnacle of alchemy. I can't believe I actually did it. He directly poured the contents of the vial onto the floor. Si-huin Malsuk. Thanks to you both, I achieved the 2 greatest goals of my life before dying. When the stone met, the liquid, colourful smoke rose, but Seaman paid no attention. Thinking, I don't know if this will succeed in this environment, the magic circle on the ground suddenly lit up brightly, startling him. But the foundation of alchemy is always equivalent exchange. Just then, a lightning bolt struck the centre of the magic circle, making him yell, "Ah!" Seaman standing nearby was also affected and cried out, "Ah!" From the sky, a massive pillar of light shone down on the house. The piece of stone on the ground instantly shattered, leaving behind a round gem. The system immediately sent a notification: a legendary product has been synthesized. His face clearly showed happiness, success. Now the system delivered a flood of good news. 5,000 achievement points acquired. This category has been cancelled due to its disappearance. Both legendary products of alchemy have been created. Title Pioneer of Alchemy acquired. First title obtained. Imseemun looked at the object and said, "So this is it." Information about the stone was quickly delivered. Philosopher's Stone. Link possible. Level. A legendary product of alchemy. Capable of synthesizing anything as long as the law of equivalent exchange is established. He held the gem in his hand, his mind full of questions. Linked item. Suddenly he cut his finger, causing blood to spurt out. A drop of blood immediately fell onto the stone, making it glow red. At this moment the system also sounded Link Kim Si-mun. By some force the stone emitted smoke, startling Simon. Huh? Then it flew into the air amidst surrounding electric sparks. Immediately after, sparks shot out in all directions. His body had to endure all the damage, causing him to scream in pain. Ah! Just then the ceiling above broke apart. Kim Si-mun sitting saw a head rolling towards him. Just seeing it made him panic and turn pale. Kim Si-mun screamed in terror. "Malsuk!" The mysterious eye from above was equally surprised. Huh? The Philosopher's Stone. Even seeing it with my own eyes, it's hard to believe. That aura froze him stiff. An overwhelming presence. The eyes gradually multiplied, looking at him. Is this the power of a dimension capable of birthing a constellation? He heard this and froze. What? But the eye said, "This is truly an unexpected harvest." Those words made Kim Si-mun tremble with rage. It's all because of that bastard Malsuk Si-huin. Damn it, if only my magical ability wasn't so pathetic. Fortunately, the system sent another message. Synchronization complete. Philosopher's Stone is correctly positioned. Mana stat has been converted into the unique stat synthesis power. Achievement acquired. Unique stat obtained. These words left him slightly bewildered. Unique stat. Yet the stone directly penetrated his chest. Although slightly painful, it filled him with determination. Ah, synthesis power. Synthesize anything I desire. What do I desire? He looked straight at the eye above and thought to himself, fight back against that bastard. Although in great pain, Kim Si-mun forced himself to think further, to live a life no longer defined by weakness. Just as the pain reached its peak, another notification arrived. Searching for a suitable target within the owner's category. Search failed. Expanding search range by consuming synthesis power. Search complete. Most suitable target is book XXXXX. Required synthesis power for equivalent exchange is insufficient. His pain intensified, making him scream, "Ah!" A circle appeared around him with an echoing voice. Based on the owner's current state, the Philosopher's Stone will use its own synthesis power. Kim Si-moon's hand suddenly rose as if manipulated by some mysterious force to begin the independent synthesis process. He snapped his fingers, and instantly a blinding light flared up around him. The Crimson Eye saw this and looked bewildered, not understanding what was happening. Purple flames enveloped the book, while the system announced, "The birth of an unprecedented divine item has caused the eyelid of XXXXX, its original owner, to twitch." His attention shifted towards Kim Si-moon. Hearing that the eye yelled furiously, "What, this is impossible, utterly unbelievable. How could a human create the product of a foolish father?" But then he collapsed again as a voice echoed, first time attention from a constellation received. His eyes slowly closed, but the voice continued to echo in his ears. 1,000 achievement points acquired. Attention from XXXX, a constellation not registered in the galactic arena, has been attracted. Title Attractor of Gazes from Afar acquired. This category's activation has been cancelled due to its disappearance. Kim Si-moon remained sprawled on the ground thinking, "I don't know what's happening, but..." The scene before him gradually blurred. "At least I really managed to fight back against that bastard." Malsuk's figure also gradually faded. Everything slowly turned dark. Sometime later, in a bustling urban area with a vast sky above, rays of light streamed in through the window. After a while, Kim Si-moon slowly regained consciousness from his daze. Where is this? Before him, a spacious area with simple furnishings gradually came into view. He froze for 3 seconds before suddenly realizing. Kim Si-moon bolted upright, yelling, "Is this my old studio apartment?" Thoughts immediately flooded his mind. Was that Crimson Eye just an illusion? But the sensation I experienced felt so real, like death itself. I still can't forget it. Suddenly, a vibration nearby startled Kim Si-moon. He picked up the object and realized a phone. Only China and the US still exist, but both are also in chaos. This is why I stopped using a phone long ago. Noticing the phone, he was shocked stiff. What? 2030? With over 100 missed calls from Kim Si-hoon and Lee Yu-jung. He looked outside, murmuring to himself, "Have I gone back 11 years? Even now, he couldn't dare to believe the truth. I've returned to when I was 28 years old. But images from the past flooded back once more. Back then, surely, the Philosopher's Stone controlled my body and performed some kind of synthesis. Did it bring me back? As his hands moved, he felt a strange sensation. Wait a minute. Deep within his mind, Kim Si-moon was very surprised. This feeling is different from before. Although sitting on the bed, he felt very hazy, even though I've returned 11 years back to when I was 28. I can't be happy. That was a very difficult time because of the magical powerlessness caused by that incident. When Kim Si-moon looked at the glasses on the table, memories flooded back. My eyesight was so bad I had to wear glasses. Yet now the scene before him was crystal clear, and all his senses felt sharp. Si-moon stared intently at his hands thinking, but now, the heavy, suffocating feeling of magical powerlessness has completely vanished. A glint of determination flashed in the depths of his eyes. I need to check more closely. When Kim Si-moon called out status window, a flood of information appeared. Title Pioneer of Alchemy Type, Magic Affiliation Career. Level 1, Strength 4, Agility 4, Stamina 5, Synthesis Power 10. Trait Philosopher's Stone, Achievement Points 10112, 500. Kim Si-moon's eyes caught on those numbers and he froze. After piecing things together, he was startled. Wait a minute. Instead of magical powerlessness, the trait is now Philosopher's Stone. Kim Si-moon's hand gently touched his chest as he thought, so the Philosopher's Stone that used to be in my chest. But then he got lost in his thoughts again. Did it become a trait after the linking process? Anyway, the Philosopher's Stone granted my wish. After a long moment, Kim Si-moon could only let out a sigh. Phew! Ha ha ha! I never thought this day would come. The feeling of magical powerlessness like shackles worn my whole life has vanished. As he stepped off the bed, Kim Si-moon muttered, I can't stand being sober like this anymore. I need to drink something. He quickly opened the fridge and popped open a can of beer. As he drank, his mind kept racing. More than 1 or 2 things have changed since the magical powerlessness disappeared. My overall statistics have also been restored to their initial state. But then the taste pulled Kim Si-moon back. The real taste of beer, finally I can perceive it. Then he noticed the information provided by the system again. The average statistic for level 1 is 5 across all stats. I'm missing 1 point in each stat, but a stat of 10. That's something only elite soldiers usually have. Suddenly, Kim Si-moon's gaze seemed to catch on something. After understanding dawned, he exclaimed, wait a minute, it's not magical power, but synthesis power. His brain quickly put the pieces together. The magical power stat was converted into the unique stat synthesis power. His brain quickly put the pieces together. The magical power stat was converted into the unique stat synthesis power. Just that information was enough to make Kim Si-moon ecstatic. So I've become the owner of a unique stat incredible, and at level 1, having lived through one life, he understood well. In my past life, only a few players possessed unique stats. Most of them became high-ranking figures like Si Hyuk or Zhong Li Chu. But then Si-moon put the beer can down on the table thinking, nobody can predict life. Taking advantage of the free time, he asked the system, by the way, what's going on with the achievement points? He then received the notification achievement points 1, 0, 1, 12, 500. This left Si-moon slightly astonished. 1, 0, 12, 500 achievement points. I don't know where they came from, but I'll worry about it after the achievement shop opens. After pondering for a moment, he decided to try investigating his own titles. While the system was loading, his mouth kept moving. Let's take a look. Fortunately, being a high-end system, HLR context unclear, omitted the information was provided quickly and fully. Pioneer of Alchemy. Type growth. A title granted to the alchemist who synthesized all legendary alchemical products. Provides a small bonus related to synthesis. Just those few lines made Kim Si-moon unable to contain himself. This is crazy. A title related to my profession, and it's a growth type. This made him secretly rejoice. Even Malsuk, a latecomer among the high-ranking figures, dominated thanks to an overly powerful title from the heavenly demon Tian Mo, and now I have one like that. Not stopping there, he still wanted to know more. Let's check the other titles. Is there a better one? The system also responded with a new title, Attractor of Gazes from Afar. A title for one who has attracted the gaze of an entity that can be called an outsider. Whether this is fortunate or unfortunate, none can say, but it is certainly a significant event. However, that title left him slightly surprised. When did I receive this title? Kim Si-moon read and pondered gaze from the outside. What exactly does outside mean? After thinking for a while without figuring it out, he unfairly blamed it. Is it just a useless trait? Thinking about it became tiring, so he decided to rest. Oh well, it's better than nothing. Deep down, Kim Si-moon still felt some joy. The most important thing is that my magical powerlessness has been cured. By the way, let's test something. He decided to do it and took a deep breath. First, decompose the ignition formula. Transform it into a form suitable for magic. Finally, concentrate all power into the palm, then channel synthesis power into it. But the power quickly dissipated. Seeing that his face hardened as he murmured, just as expected. So even though my class is magic, using synthesis power for magic is impossible. Kim Si-moon didn't hesitate and quickly pulled open a drawer to find a piece of chalk. It might be different if I draw a synthesis circle. Synthesis inherently requires drawing a synthesis circle. As he drew, he murmured to himself, if I'm disadvantaged by being unable to use magic, I must have a significant advantage in synthesis. Let's try drawing the synthesis circle. Just then the Philosopher's Stone emitted a crimson glow. This made him feel slightly anxious. What is this? Is my body rejecting it? Meanwhile, the stone continued to emit a large surge of power, making Kim Si-moon suspect, could it be the Philosopher's Stone itself? That surge of power gradually entered his body. It called this method primitive and savage. Why use such an inefficient method? Thinking back. Since I possessed the Philosopher's Stone, how have I approached synthesis? At that moment, a stream of memories flashed through his mind. Whatever he thought, Kim Si-moon snapped his fingers once more. Then he closed his eyes to rest. It seems the thing I want to synthesize. The surrounding space shifted to another dimension. Shape. A spear. Yes, like the spear that damned Zhong Li Chu used. A spear would be very suitable. If it has additional special abilities or options, the stronger the better. After a moment, his eyes opened, looking straight ahead. The price to pay for synthesis. A blinding aura radiated from Kim Si-moon's hand. Is my synthesis power. He barely had time to think that when the Philosopher's Stone reacted violently, causing him pain. Unable to bear it, he had to put his hands on the ground to support his body. Just then, the system sent a notification. Synthesis power is completely insufficient to achieve the desired synthesis. Although kneeling on the ground, Si-moon was still furious, but could only curse silently. Damn it. As he clutched his chest in pain, the system sent more news. Philosopher's Stone unstable. Searching for an alternative path. Owner has found a solution using available resources. But there was no easy way out, as the system's next report shocked him. Stiff Philosopher's Stone requires 1,000 achievement points to restore stability. This made Si-moon cry out. What the system then asked, do you accept? Yes, no. He was still frozen stiff. 1,000,000 points deep down his mind raced, connecting the dots. Thinking back, the Philosopher's Stone cured my magical powerlessness. It's regrettable, but it also sent me back 11 years. Finally, he decided to take the risk and chose yes. You have proven your worth, so I trust you, Philosopher's Stone. Very quickly, the system reported back 1,000 achievement points have been consumed. Philosopher's Stone has fully recovered from its unstable state. Receiving this, he felt very satisfied. Excellent. Alchemy is much easier to control now. Thinking this, Simon snapped his fingers once more, so it should work now, right? But unfortunately, nothing happened after the finger snap echoed. Yet the system reported again. Synthesis power is insufficient to achieve the desired synthesis, making him furious. Again. What kind of monstrous requirement are you demanding that's so grand? He ran a hand through his hair, trying to look cool, and said, "This is so frustrating." His hands subconsciously clenched into fists. Even when I was in a desperate situation due to magical powerlessness, I still managed to synthesize legendary products. Yet now I can't even synthesize a spear with a minor special ability. Fortunately, the system sent another message. Philosopher's Stone requires 500 achievement points to establish the missing equivalent exchange. Do you accept? Yes, no. This frustrated Simon. After spending 1,000,000 points, another 500 points is nothing, right? Without a second thought, he said, "All right, I've already spent 1,000,000 points. What's another 500? Instantly, Seaman chose yes. Now he wanted to try one more time, silently praying, "Please." Seaman snapped his fingers while thinking, it definitely has to be worth it. Luckily at that moment, a golden light appeared. Lightning crackled within the room, stunning him. People walking outside saw the scene and couldn't help but exclaim, "Whoa, scared the life out of me." A lightning bolt struck down from the sky. The glass window couldn't withstand the pressure and shattered into pieces. Yet the lightning bolts didn't stop. One of them struck the floor right near Kim Simon's feet. From the system came another notification. Constellation Heems is observing you. The scene suddenly shifted to a building high in the deep blue sky. Inside, a group of people were discussing something. Inside was a mysterious person. Constellation Hermes shows interest in the sudden appearance of the lightning of Olympus. Not only him, but others too. Constellation Athena also shows interest in the sudden appearance of the lightning of Olympus. Kim Si-moon heard the news and couldn't help but be surprised. What constellations? While the system reported, Constellation Aries shows interest in the sudden appearance of... He remained bewildered. Why are the constellations suddenly paying attention to me? After some discussion, the system reported again. The constellations of Olympus are astonished by the trace left on you. As they departed, the system's voice still echoed. The constellations of Olympus hastily keep their distance. The vast room was now extremely empty, with only 3 kings remaining seated, firmly, completely unfazed. But high above, a god was intently observing everything. And very surprising information was, among them the ruler of Olympus constellation Zeus shows immense interest in you. The more he heard, the less he dared believe reality. The constellations of Olympus are retreating because of a trace left on me. After sitting for a while, Kim Si-moon figured it out. Could it be because of that title, Attractor of Gazes from Afar title, for one who has attracted the gaze of an entity called Outside? Whether lucky or unlucky, none know, but it is surely an important event. Just then, the spear on the floor emitted powerful beams of light. Although he saw it, he still didn't understand. But what is this movement? The spear grew increasingly radiant in the golden light. After regaining his composure, he grabbed it. At that moment, Kim Si-moon's entire body seemed to feel an immense surge of power. At that time, the system once again displayed before his eyes. All information about the spear displayed Astrope, Grade Myth, Level 10. Spear of Zeus, the god who rules Olympus. It can control lightning, but for some reason cannot unleash its full power. This left Si-moon astonished. What the... Astrope? He seemed to grasp its strength. Isn't this the main weapon of the Emperor of Thunder, Alexander? His mind immediately thought of that item, Emperor of Thunder, Alexander. Even after losing his link, he still maintained his position as a high-level master. An image formed in his mind of a tall man wielding the spear, thinking... Furthermore, even though he fought with a spear, his attack power rivaled the lightning magic of magic system masters. Kim Si-moon's eyes were fixed on the spear due to its power. I truly never expected I could synthesize a weapon like this. However, a problem arose. But compared to the real Astrope, which could incinerate everything around just by being equipped, this one looks truly ordinary. Due to his prior distrust of the system, he thought, just like its grade indicates, it's merely a fake. Kim Si-moon looked out at the broken window pane deep in thought. Even Zeus only showed interest and didn't make any sponsorship offer. Well, that's not surprising either. Suddenly he realized some issue and said, wait a minute. Kim Si-moon's brain worked at full capacity to understand everything, thinking back. The system never said synthesis was impossible. Synthesis power is completely insufficient to achieve the desired synthesis. Synthesis power is completely insufficient to achieve the desired synthesis. This made him happy. Conversely, if I can meet the synthesis requirements... Kim Si-moon's face filled with pride. Does that mean I can synthesize the real Astrup? His expression brimmed with confidence. Having my magical powerlessness cured and being sent back 11 years was already a miracle. But if I can synthesize myth-grade weapons just by performing equivalent exchange, this alchemy is truly an insane ability. But suddenly, the spear gradually vanished. In just a moment, it was completely gone, as if it had never existed in the world, leaving him frozen stiff. What is this backlash from the synthesis process? Then what about my achievement points? This alone made Kim Si-mun look utterly pathetic, but he could only curse inwardly. Damn it, I wasted 500 achievement points. At level 1, the value of 500 achievement points is enormous. I take back what I said earlier. He stared into the empty space before him and could only sigh. Now, this is an insane ability in a different sense. Losing 500 achievement points is truly discouraging. Suddenly the system sent another notification. The Philosopher's Stone minimizes backlash proportional to the grade and level of the Philosopher's Stone. 50 consumed achievement points have been refunded. This surprised him even more. It refunded the achievement points used for the synthesis process. Instantly, Kim Si-mun called the system status window. His hands moved swiftly to select check. Information about the stone quickly appeared. State Philosopher's Stone. Link Kim Si-hun. Level 1. Grade F. A legendary product of alchemy. As long as equivalent exchange is established, anything can be synthesized. Receives absolute correction in all aspects related to alchemy. Looking at it, he couldn't help but ponder. It's completely different from the initial status window. Philosopher's Stone Link Grade. Legendary product of alchemy. As long as equivalent exchange is established, anything can be synthesized. Before there was no level, and the grade was just... Oh, is this because of the link and the time reversal? Then Si-mun decided to address the stone within his body. Philosopher's Stone, let me ask you two things. He looked at the ruined room and asked, if this change occurred because of the linking, does that mean the hosts, my growth is affected by you, the stone? As soon as the question ended, the stone glowed bright red. Seeing the reaction, Kim Si-mun smiled. Affirmative, so that's how it is. Although the room inside was ruined, the outside remained intact. But he still thought magic system players have to go through an incantation process. The broken objects gradually floated up as Kim Si-mun thought. Even alchemy requires drawing synthesis circles and preparing ingredients. While performing the action, he thought, who is the one synthesizing without a circle so effectively? But a smile remained on his lips. It's completely far superior to synthesis using a circle. Finally, the objects gradually repaired themselves under his thought. This is a revolution in alchemy. No, in the entire field of magic. Finally, the room was intact as before. Thanks to this, I have practiced and mastered a new synthesis method. Finally, he let out a sigh. With my current alchemy level, the tutorial stage won't be a problem. It's definitely 5 p.m. today, right? But the clock now showed it was nearly 5 o'clock. He looked at the clock and calculated January 17th, 2030, 5 p.m. I can't forget. That was the day I received the first summons for the tutorial stage, to be recognized as a true player of the arena. Thinking this, Kim Si-mun could only sigh deeply. How ironic! Of all days, I returned exactly on the day of the tutorial summons. That past made him feel troubled. The event back then must have been conquer the territory, with my state of magical powerlessness. I couldn't even step into the territory before getting an arrow straight through my head. But now I'm not afraid anymore. Kim Si-mun's eyes filled with pride. Because I have alchemy. Just then he picked up the phone beside him. Speaking of which, I received a message earlier. The phone still showed dozens of missed calls from Kim Si-hun and Lee Yu-jung. He stared intently at the phone, murmuring to himself, Si-hun, are you happy? How embarrassing. I should have fulfilled my responsibilities as an older brother. Kim Si-mun immediately sent a message to his brother, Kim Si-hun. I got into the Awakening Academy, haha, Kim Si-hun. I reached Diamond Tier and got a new trait. Now I have 3 traits, but I don't know how to use this one at all. The messages continued. Kim Si-hun, did you go see the sunrise yet? I'm in my final year, so it's hard to go anywhere. This made him happy. This kid, you sent so many. The phone in his hand remained silent. Back then, you were such a bright kid. Kim Si-mun stared intently at the screen. I didn't realize at the time. The kid inside him was enduring so much pain. The more he thought, the more determined he became. Now that I've turned back time, I know it. The target of the Galactic Arena was my younger brother. I can change everything starting now. But then Kim Si-mun's gaze fell. But first, I need to fix my relationship with him. The result was, after thinking all morning, he still couldn't figure it out. But what should I send? I don't know what to say at all. Why am I so stressed about this? So annoying. As he thought this, his fingers continuously tapped the keyboard. But suddenly his expression changed. On the screen besides his brother's messages, there was still Lee Yu-jung. His hands trembled like a leaf. That's right. At this point in time, she's still alive. His lips pressed tightly together in shock. But he could only sigh deeply, thinking, Calm down. That hasn't happened yet. Memories of that day returned again. This made his head throb incessantly. I can change it. After waiting a moment, his eyes snapped open wide. No, I must change it. Fortunately, the system sent a notification. Congratulations, you have been selected to participate in the arena tutorial. You will be summoned to the tutorial stage shortly. Please prepare. Summon time 9 minutes 59 seconds. If you possess an arena access device, please equip it before use. This bewildered him. This time, definitely. Kim Seaman's hands clenched the bedsheet tightly. Memories flooded back, making him even more determined. The miserable life of someone with magical powerlessness, and all the misfortunes about to happen. I will destroy it all and rebuild from the ground up. So he made a decision. I request early entry. After Simon teleported to the edge map, the system announced, welcome to the tutorial stage. Tutorial stage overview. The event for this stage is Conquer the Territory. Number of participants 100. Simon immediately recognized the familiar scenery. Just like before, it's the forest map again. It really feels like I've traveled back in time. The rules of the game are simple. Earn points by capturing territory or eliminating other players. The tutorial stage will begin now. He looked towards the highlighted cylindrical area. It's been a while since I participated in the arena. This time I'll play it safe and aim for the highest rank. Suddenly, another notification from the system constellation. Zeus's gaze is increasingly focusing on you. Before he could compose himself, the screen displayed, Constellation Zeus has assigned you a quest. 2 consecutive notifications popped up. Quest window activated. Sponsorship window activated. Seaman stared blankly at the system. Quests, quest, and sponsorship windows. They usually only open after completing the tutorial stage. Why are they activated right now? Divine Quest revealed quest constellation. Zeus expresses deep curiosity towards you, who has attracted his attention. Achieve rank 1 in this Conquer the Territory event. Reward 1,000 achievement points. This wasn't outside his expectations. Typical style of the god ruling Olympus. If you don't achieve rank 1, he won't even bother looking your way right. Kim Seaman was moved by the generous reward. Wow, even a tutorial event rewards 1,000 achievement points. I have to do it. Rank 1 by any means necessary. He seemed to know well that Lord Zeus was watching the match. Hey there, Lord Zeus. Seaman looked up and addressed him. If you could add another 100 points, it would be more interesting, you know. Instantly, the grey sky crackled with thunderous lightning. He scratched his head, trying to salvage the situation. Haha, just kidding. The sky cleared up again. Seaman walked off muttering, in the name of the ruler sister typo, ruler of Olympus, you're surprisingly stingy. Elsewhere in the forest, fresh arrow marks were on a tree trunk, accompanied by terrified screams. Ark! A participant had logged out from the edge. Kim Min-hyung of the Sung Sam Guild was the culprit. Heh, as expected, the reward is truly sweet. He ruthlessly pulled the arrow from the opponent's neck, worthy of a major company. Looks like the participant just eliminated possessed valuable items. Even consumables like these are high grade. Min-hyung chose to harm people to steal territory. The guild just told me to survive and return, but I can't just stop there. He gripped the weapon tightly in his hand. After being kicked out of that damned academy, I can't just remain an ordinary member of the guild forever. Min-hyung gnashed his teeth in anger, vowing to himself, I will make them regret abandoning someone like me. This stage features not only forests, but also treacherous mountain ranges. Kim Si-moon walked very leisurely through the forest. He glanced around searching. I remember it being around here somewhere. Suddenly he noticed a stream not far away. Simon followed the trail to the very edge of the bank. Found it. Min-hyung, positioned in a tree, spotted him. He wasn't paying attention, just slowly lowering himself. It's been a long time since I saw this stream. He readied his bow, wanting to eliminate Si-moon. He are a participant without equipment in this match. How fortunate. Min-hyung silently assessed his next victim. Even if his traits are good without equipment, he's still a newbie. His eyes turned vicious. Yatsi Exive. His eyes turned vicious. Thanks for gifting me a free kill. The arrow shot off with frightening power, whistling straight towards Si-moon. At last second, Seaman acts. In the nick of time, he finally made his move. Seaman controlled the water, making it rise high, and simply sliced the arrow in two. His expression didn't change at all. He had already located the attacker, just as I thought. Min-hyung was still gaping. Seaman snapped his fingers towards him. Is it that guy? Instantly, an earth tremor occurred in the treetop, causing him to fall to the ground. Min-hyung tumbled head over heels several times before regaining his senses. He gritted his teeth, turned, and glared at him. A magic user. It seems he had figured it out, but he had no intention of giving up. Even so, losing to someone without equipment. Min-hyung stubbornly drew his bow and shot towards him again. Take this. The arrow flew, but his face turned deathly pale, lit cut, without a drop of blood. Seaman counterattacked swiftly, almost eliminating him. Ugh! He praised mockingly. Moved quite well there, didn't you? He panted heavily. seething with anger. What? He raised his hand towards him, a few magic sparks flying out. I aimed straight for the head. Quite impressive. Dying at the hands of someone like this should be satisfying enough. Veins popped on Min Hyung's face. You... Provoked, he wanted to charge into a decisive fight. What nonsense are you spouting? From his sides, he drew 2 daggers. Roaring Arg Min Hyung intended to use these to finish him off. Simon suddenly asked A-B rank trait. Swift movement, he realized. He questioned blankly, what, how could you know? Simon smiled without speaking. He knew he was correct. Instantly, the ground spiked up into sharp earthen mounds, piercing through his body. Min Hyung spat out a mouthful of red blood. His face was now incredibly contorted. You, Academy. He chuckled mockingly, certain of victory. Are you asking if I'm from the Awakening Academy? Kim Simon smiled meaningfully. He snapped his fingers again, adding the words, as if that place would accept scum like you. Sunlight suddenly shone down on the two. An aura enveloped Min Hyung's body. Seaman sighed. It turned out Seaman decided to heal him. He deduced, looking at your full set of equipment, you must be a new recruit from some reputable guild. You're probably using a high-quality connection device, so the reality shock would be minimal. If this were an official arena, you would have been dead long ago. He looked at himself, having no support whatsoever. Thinking back, I participated without a connection device. Seaman had seen people die because of the arena before. Elimination in an official arena match means death. Unlike logging out in reality like now, it's real death in the outside world. That place is much scarier than we think. Moreover, an official arena doesn't just end with the death of the eliminated player. Worst case scenario when there are no participants to clear it. If the arena isn't completed, it leads to an outbreak in the associated nation, and if it's a dungeon or a raid, the monsters that weren't killed are released into the real world. Kim Si-mun used to be among the strongest. For that reason, the number of top rankers a nation possesses directly correlates with their national power. Their team failed to complete the mission. Regrettably, after that event, South Korea, like the small nations that vanished before, it couldn't prevent the outbreak and was annihilated. He wearily held his forehead, reassuring himself, those things haven't happened yet. Focus on the present. He returned to the task at the tutorial arena. First, let's check the current situation. Along with that, the system screen displayed. Rank 1, Kang Ho-young, 2 kills territory, points 14%. Rank 2, Lee Si-eun, 1 kill territory, points 44%. Seaman was so astonished he exclaimed, he stared wide-eyed at the ranking board. Why are the elimination counts so low? It's been a while since the tutorial stage began. His gaze drifted into the distance pensively. I guess everyone is playing it safe in the early stages. Almost all participants have full equipment. Tsk. This is a gold rank event like Conquer the Territory, so the MMR must be very high. Participants probably possess high-grade traits stats and equipment right from level 1. This must be the reason they choose to play safe. The more they have, the more they fear losing it. Kim Si-mun was currently ranked 3rd. Some people have already entered the territory if the territory points are 4%. They haven't been in long. Given the nature of the event, territory points are more important than the number of kills for achieving rank 1. Suddenly, his hand emitted a few magical sparks. But now, I need to familiarize myself more with this synthesis method. Finding the game too boring, he decided, I'll kill a few more then. I'll wipe out those who want to play it safe. A participant wearing armor was running through the forest, panting heavily. Huff, huff. But he didn't dare slow down even for a moment. Huff. He glanced behind with a fearful expression. Crazy. Suddenly, the ground surged up and pierced through him. His scream tore through the air. That guy is insane. The one who just attacked was Kim Si-mun. Damn it, he's fast. The magic was just dispelled. He fell heavily to the ground. Even while wearing heavy armor, he's still that fast. He definitely must have a trait related to speed, too. Si-mun seemed to sigh in relief. If I hadn't struck first, he might have slipped away. Behind him, another opponent was lying in wait. The guy leaped out from the bushes, intending to ambush him. Si-mun, with his sharp senses, detected it. His eyes flashed. The sound of a finger snap unintentionally rang out again. A fatal blow left the guy no time to react. Si-mun looked at them like a bunch of small fry. Anyway, these guys are indeed just henchmen waiting for an opportunity. The system seemed to have a new notification. Turns out it was a strength increase. Repeated synthesis increases your synthesis power. The level of the Philosopher's Stone has increased. His eyes shone like car headlights. Increasing stats is common at low levels, but I didn't expect the Philosopher's Stone's level could increase too. The smile of a victor gradually appeared. The idea of practicing while hunting down players who play it safe is truly very effective. He looked at the guy previously felled on the ground. This one is the 11th I've taken down. Now I probably won't be ambushed anymore, right? Not far away was the pillar marking the territory. The territory is close by too. I should probably head inside, huh? Iman started moving closer to it. Suddenly, something appeared before his eyes. He was startled and prepared to use magic. But looking closer, Seaman couldn't believe it. What is this? Before him lay numerous corpses. Haven't even entered the territory yet, and there are already so many dead bodies like this. Immediately he had to check the current situation, the arena ranking board. Kim Si-moon rank 5, 11 kills. Rank 1 is Kang Ho-young, 7 kills. Rank 2, Lee Si-eun, 5 kills. Both R1 and R2 possessed 60% territory. Rank 3 and 4 also have the same territory percentage of 59%. He couldn't believe the results on the board. From rank 1 to rank 4, the territory points are nearly identical, aren't they? Something's not right here, he thought. Moreover, all 4 of these individuals have been in the top ranks since the tutorial stage began. That means... An idea flashed in Seaman's mind. Their teaming up. Teaming refers to a temporary alliance in a game where grouping isn't allowed. A non-aggression pact. What a strange tactic. He growled slightly. This is clearly a violation of the rules. He hid behind a tree trunk to avoid being seen from inside. Even if they want to rank high that badly, teaming up right in the tutorial stage. Seaman cautiously scouted the area outside the territory. Where are they? If they're a team, they must be together. Are they camping inside the territory? He predicted the defensive formation of the 4A tank in front, an archer behind, and 2 swordsmen on the sides. Perfect. With this formation, it's truly difficult to snatch scraps like a hyena. An aura radiated around Seaman. I intended to save as much power as possible since the quest reward is split. The magic in his hand seemed stronger this time, but now I have no choice. Kim Si-moon's game had only just begun. If you guys intend to play like that, his magic was further empowered. Then I'll have to become a monster too. At the same time, inside the territory, Lee Si-eun's pupils dilated. Thanks to this, she could see through the territory walls. J1 was the team's tank. He asked, "Hey Lee Se-eun, do you see anything?" She crossed her arms and replied nonchalantly, "I don't think anyone else is coming." He opened his mouth to taunt her. "Are your eyes blurry from running out of aura energy, huh?" She crossed her arms and replied nonchalantly, "I don't think anyone else is coming." He opened his mouth to taunt her. "Are your eyes blurry from running out of aura energy, huh?" Se-eun was provoked and retorted, "What are you talking about? Besides, my clairvoyance ability uses mana, not aura." Jaewon chuckled, half joking, half serious. "Oh, really? Well then that's great. You use your excess aura to hunt for kills after all." Hitting a sore spot, she retorted to his words. "But why are you grumbling when your kill count is even lower?" He grumbled, grinding his teeth. "Honestly, that's so unfair. Everyone has over 5 kills, except me." Se-eun laughed mockingly at him. "Well, who told you to choose to be the tank? It's really funny." Jaewon frowned, extremely annoyed. "Hey, what could I do when my trait turned out like this? It's truly absurd." She intentionally mimicked his tone. "I didn't choose this trait either, you know." Jaewon was lost for words, unable to argue back. The two were about to scuffle when someone spoke up to stop them. "That's quite enough." Kang Ho-young seriously suggested, "Kim Jaewon, now that your territory points are over 60%, I'll help you get kills from now on." Jaewon turned as if he hadn't heard clearly. "Huh." A moment later, he was happy as a child. "Really, I trust you on that, buddy." Se-eun asked the leader for his opinion. "Oppa, can we go outside the territory now?" Ho-young looked at her questioningly. Outside, she used words to persuade him. "Yeah." The number of participants has dropped significantly. She blinked her sparkling eyes. Staying inside the territory all the time is so stuffy, but he just remained silent. Se-eun immediately guessed his thoughts. "Are you worried about that Kim Si-man guy?" She nonchalantly blew a bubble with her gum, reassuring him. "Don't worry, I know most of the rookies from the guilds already, and the name Kim Si-man isn't on any list." Ho-young's expression changed. He spoke bluntly. "That's precisely what's more worrying. A guy with a completely unknown name managed to kill 11 people. Se-eun laughed it off, wanting to dismiss his worries. "But I don't think there's any need to be afraid. You know right. All the participants this time are a bunch of idiots. There's only one type of soldier who goes around killing people, that Kim Si-man guy or whatever his name is. He's probably just a scrap hunter like a hyena. If he were that good, he would have entered the territory already." Se-eun moved closer, pleading once more. "If you're worried, then let's just patrol around here while maintaining our formation. Okay, I'm so bored. We trained hard for this, right?" Kang Ho-young finally agreed to compromise. But as Se-eun said, after all 4 of us failed the previous training exercise, we gritted our teeth and trained diligently. Thanks to that, our guild Scorpion even provided us with equipment. The result was all 4 of them had 60%, 59% territory. Ho-young 7 kills Se-eun, 5 kills Ho-cheon, 5 kills Jaewon, 3 kills. Ho-young was still lost in thought. Even though we are cooperating, she still continued to reassure him. "Hey, have some confidence." Se-eun seemed to read his thoughts. She said, "Even if we are cooperating someone we've never even heard of." She didn't finish her sentence. It seemed she had spotted something unusual. It seems to be coming from outside the territory. Se-Yun immediately activated her clairvoyance. Just as predicted, she saw Kim Si-mun. She reacted swiftly, drawing her weapon, wanting to attack him, accompanied by a warning shout. "He's here!" Se-Yun held her bow, preparing to aim and shoot. Kang Ho-young hadn't processed the information yet. What? She released her hand. The arrow shot off. "I see you hiding over there." The arrow whistled as it pierced through the territory barrier. Seaman's figure flickered behind the tree. With just a direct gaze towards the arrow, it suddenly snapped in two in mid-air. He safely stepped out from his hiding spot. Se-Yun was shocked, speechless. Jae-won seemed to see it too. Magic. Ho Chae-un drew his sword defensively. Some kind of magic. Kim Si-mun smiled faintly. "I thought I hid quite well." Se-Yun realized something, shouting in surprise clairvoyance. Her pupils couldn't stop constricting. "How could you possibly know?" He pulled up his hood, answering honestly. "I have my own reasons. I've researched traits extensively." Se-Yun belligerently drew her bow again. "Oh really? Want me to test if you've studied enough to lose your head?" Before she could act, her teammate stopped her. "Wait." Kang Ho-young stepped forward imposingly. A deep red mana flared around him. He spoke. "Kim Si-mun, correct?" Seaman still coldly asked the person opposite, "And who are you?" Hearing this, he replied, "Kang Ho-young." Kim Si-mun seemed somewhat interested and asked, "Looking at the rank 1 player, you must be the leader, right?" The reply came, "Correct." He proudly declared, "I'll keep it brief." Yet Ho-young arrogantly extended the invitation. "Kim Si-mun, join our group." The woman beside him heard this and was startled. "Oppa, what do you mean by that?" The guy standing nearby also spoke up. "Huh? Are you crazy? How do you know that guy won't stab us in the back?" But he retorted, 11 kills without any special equipment. He definitely possesses a magic-type ability of at least S rank. "I will help you achieve rank 1. As he was speaking, a hand slapped his shoulder loudly. "Hold on, Ho-young, are you sane?" The girl yelled furiously, as if no one else was around. "That guy is a magic type. If he really betrays us, we'll all die." But Ho-young reassured them, saying, "Cooperating with someone possessing a magic ability of that level brings more benefits than risks." Yet she still tried to argue. But he pushed her hand away and retorted, "Magic users are extremely rare. Even within our Scorpion Guild, that's the case." He thought internally. Not to mention, Ho-young's eyes suddenly lit up. 11 kills. No matter how good at hunting fragments, that number is too absurd. 11 kills. No matter how good at hunting fragments, that number is too absurd. With his genius brain, he once again persuaded her. "Think further, Lee Se-tun. If we can form a connection with someone with magic power like this, our standing in the guild will rise. If we can form a connection with someone with magic power like this, our standing in the guild will rise." Hearing this, Kim Si-mun burst out laughing. "Ha, you guys are ridiculous." Just that one sentence made Ho-young's face freeze. What then, he said, "Isn't it obvious the way you talk is as if I would naturally join?" Seeing this, he could only sigh. "You don't like it. Anyway, about the magic, I'll apologize for that." He just shrugged and continued, "I know well the arrogance of those with magic power, but I'm not that type." Ho-young understood less and less. "Then what's the problem?" Kim Si-mun bluntly said, "Cooperation." Ho-young looked confused and asked again, "Cooperation? What's wrong with that?" He explained without hesitation, "Are you asking because you don't know? Cooperation is clearly against the rules. If this tutorial phase is broadcast, you'll definitely be heavily criticized." Yet he replied with determination, "I don't care. Why should I care about public opinion when there's no penalty?" Thinking it was settled, but he called out, "Hey, Kang Ho-young." Kim Si-mun looked straight at them and said, "Looking at your equipment, you probably come from a fairly famous guild. How do you plan to handle the consequences? Are you confident?" Hearing this, he turned purple with anger and retorted, "Just because you killed a few insects, you've become this arrogant." As soon as he finished speaking, he raised his hand to the sky. The whole group over there was ready to act. Our Scorpion Guild only cares about results. As long as the result is good, nothing else matters. Ho-young threatened in a low voice, "And we are a perfectly coordinated team of 4 completely different from the fools you caught." Finishing his words, he pointed straight at him and said, "So join us, Kim Si-mun. This is your last chance." Finally, he took off his hood and said, "Truly worthy of the Scorpion Guild name. There's no reason to continue this conversation." Kim Si-mun also pointed forward and said quickly, "Kang Ho-young." Flashes of light emanated from his hand with the words, "Worry about yourself." The sky, just clear moments ago, now darkened. Instantly, a lightning bolt struck down in front of them. Ho-young's group was blinded by the light. Only when he managed to force his eyes open was he surprised. The opponent saw this and was startled by the spear. "What is that?" He knew he still had a chance to win, so he said confidently, "Anyway, first place is mine." In Kim Si-mun's hand now was a spear full of power. "Why should I lower myself by using these dirty cooperative tactics?" Ho-young's eyes hardened as he said, "Negotiations have failed." He turned to the woman beside him and shouted, "Lee Se-yun." She received the order and readily got into position, "I know." The arrow was shot and flew swiftly forward. Kim Si-mun didn't flinch and retaliated Dai Astref. As soon as the words left his mouth, a beam of light shot forward. The two types of power collided head-on. Seeing this, Lee Se-eun exclaimed, "What the—" But the power of the spear was completely overwhelming. Their group was instantly wiped out. Seeing this, he let out a cold chuckle. Kim Si-mun looked at the people lying scattered before him and just smirked slightly. Actually, he was also somewhat afraid of possessing this item. I only used 10% of its power. Kim Si-mun looked at the pile of bodies scattered on the ground and was startled. But something's not right. Ho Yang charged from afar with overwhelming killing intent. Seeing this, he became more interested. "You're still alive," saying that Kim Si-mun also sent a palm strike towards him. But Si-mun immediately sensed something wrong. A purple light appeared surrounding him. When the dust settled, the space in front was empty. Kim Si-mun observed the situation and thought rank A characteristic shadow step. Did he dodge Astref with that characteristic? In just an instant, he was standing behind him. The sword was quickly swung with the intent to eliminate Kim Si-mun. Ho Yang shouted as he acted die, but right at this moment he snapped his fingers. A pillar of earth shot up from the ground, sending him flying. The sword in his hand trembled, but he still managed to utter his last words. "This can't be." Blood spurted from his mouth with each word Ho Yang spoke, even after using so much lightning attribute magic like that. "How do you still have energy left?" Hearing this, he smiled. This." The spear slowly moved closer to his face as he said, "It's just something a little different." Kim Si-mun still had a contemptuous smile on his lips. "Come on, Kang Ho Yang, get out of here quickly. Staying here any longer is just a waste of time." A blinding light struck down from the sky onto the ground. Just then, the system sent a notification. "You have reached 100% occupation points. The owner of the occupied area has been determined. The tutorial phase will end now." Kim Si-mun, who had been waiting, breathed a sigh of relief. It's over. The rankings in the system also began to change. Rank 1, Kim Si-mun, 15, kills 100% occupation points. Rank 2, Sung Seol-yoon 2, kills. You have achieved first place in the tutorial phase. You have received the title Tutorial Phase Dominator. You have received 100 achievement points. You have completed the task from the constellation Jotun. You have received 1,000 achievement points. Despite this, he still felt a bit uneasy. If I hadn't used Astref, I could have received the full 1,000 points. Then he received another notification. The constellation Jotun is extremely satisfied with your performance. Luckily, the system added a bonus. Additionally, you have received another 100 achievement points, so in total, I earned 750 achievement points. Moreover, upon returning to the real world, the reward for completing the arena will be waiting for me. His face filled with a smile as he thought, "I've gained so much from this tutorial phase. Looking forward to what's next." Then the system sent a message. "You will be returned to your original location shortly." The scene suddenly shifted to outside the Scorpion Guild headquarters, Seoul City. Inside, the Scorpion Vice Guildmaster was talking to someone on the phone. "Hey, Kang Ho Yang." Then came the reply, "Yes, Vice Guildmaster." He crumpled the paper in his hand and shouted in annoyance, "Do you think this makes sense?" Madness was evident in his eyes. It's not that you were defeated by someone extremely strong or encountered another cooperating group, but you lost in a direct confrontation against someone with no equipment at all. As he spoke, the Vice Guildmaster extinguished the cigarette in his hand. Ho Yang, knowing it was his fault, could only reply apologetically, "I have no excuses." That answer seemed to infuriate the old man even more. "As you know, I don't blame someone for being inferior in skill. That's something that can even be fixed by pouring money into weapons." The Vice Guildmaster moved closer and closer to Ho Yang with a threatening tone. "But listen here." He immediately slapped him while continuously cursing, "Losing even though you cooperated." The people standing behind trembled hearing the shouts. "That's something I cannot overlook." The old man grew angrier. "Cooperating is an act that damages your reputation. Do you understand what that means?" Knowing he was wrong, Ho Yang could only stand still and endure it. "I'm sorry." Before he could finish, the Vice Guildmaster threw a stack of papers onto the table. "Here." The invoice hit Ho Yang right in the eye. He picked it up to examine it, but still asked, "This is—" The Vice Guildmaster had calmed down and slowly explained, "Yes, the invoice for those who, despite receiving full guild support, still failed to pass the tutorial phase and only caused more trouble." Though spoken softly, the words were filled with killing intent. "It stipulates that for the next 10 years, all the rewards you earn will be transferred to the Scorpion Guild. Read it carefully and sign." Someone who had been standing aside saw this and spoke up. Although still scared, he said, "This contract seems a bit excessive." Those words directly provoked the Vice Guildmaster, making him tremble with anger. The old man choked him tightly with just one hand. The accumulated events made the Vice Guildmaster growl. "When you're stupid, your body has to bear the consequences. Do you really want to die?" Despite the pain, he still managed to say, "I'm sorry, Vice Guildmaster." Ho Yang understood and ordered him sign it quickly. Around the same time, outside the Sungsam Guild headquarters, Seoul, Special City, manager Park Min-chin sat in the room still unable to believe reality. Unbelievable. But he still turned to console the others. I don't blame you guys, it's just this story is truly incredible. That guy also quickly interjected, I feel the same way. The fact that magic was deployed like that without chanting was shocking enough, but thinking about him getting 15 kills, it was like scratching an itch for them, so they chimed in one after another, and he did it alone, taking down 4 top players who were cooperating. Another added, that's right. I opened the arena leaderboard and confirmed it in real time. Manager Park Min-chin could only say understood. The details will be mentioned in the report. You can leave now. Even so, they still felt aggrieved, but... So the manager reassured them, I know what you want to say. Don't worry, our Sungsam Guild doesn't penalize anyone for failing in the tutorial phase. Those guys were just waiting for this sentence. Their spirits immediately lifted. Not stopping there, manager Park Min-chin also said, you can do better next time, right? Immediately, there was a chorus of voices. Yes. Finally, they agreed to leave amidst smiles from both sides. The manager saw the scene and felt happy too, but he still said, by the way, the manager held the file, his mind filled with bewilderment. He took down 4 cooperating people by himself. Feeling stuck, Park Min-chin sought help. Jeon-hai, any information? Hearing this, she simply replied, Manager Park, we're working on it. Yet he continued to tease her, but if I call you Vice U, you'll sulk, right? Although furious, Jeon-hai still said, I'm not sulking, but her hand had already slammed the file down on the table. Park Min-chin tactfully changed the subject. As expected, it was the Scorpion Guild cooperating, right? Jeon-hai pointed at the file and said, that's right. 3 of them possess B rank abilities, 1 is A rank. Manager Park Min-chin broke into a sweat seeing that information. How could the Scorpion Guild, famous for their dirty playstyle, gather such talented people? But deep in his eyes, a thoughtful look appeared. No, that's not the question. How could one person single-handedly defeat a cooperating group of that caliber? The guildmaster standing nearby intervened. It must be the magic class. They might have overwhelmed them with their unique attack power. But he retorted at level 1. With that kind of power, even if that were possible, he would need considerable casting time. Jeon-hai recalled and recounted, the report says he activated magic just by snapping his fingers. Could it be due to their characteristic, possibly at least S rank or higher? But Park Min-chin completely disagreed. That's one way to look at it, but I have a different opinion, Vice U. He stared intently at the list on the table, murmuring to himself, no matter how good their characteristic is, there's a limit at level 1. There must be something more. Suddenly his eyes caught a line of text. The guildmaster beside him understood and asked, you mean something like a constellation? Then he heard him say, yes, a constellation. If it's a variable at that level, then it makes sense. Jeon-hai Karma now analyzed the situation, but manager, he's only level 1, just finished the tutorial. There's no way he received support from a constellation. Those words made Park Min-chin ponder. Well, since the Celestial Arena appeared in 2015, constellations only manifest at diamond rank and above, never appearing in lower ranks. Only later did he understand, so maybe he's an anomaly, or there's something else that isn't a constellation. Either way, Park Min-chin had his sights set on Kim Si-mun. One thing is certain, he's someone we must recruit. Hearing this, Jeon-hai looked troubled. Other guilds won't sit idly by either. Hearing that, he burst out laughing. That's why Vice U will have to work a little harder. Park Min-chin pushed up his glasses, looking cool as he said, agreed, Guildmaster. She heard it and jumped, startled. What? Suddenly a golden light appeared beside the two of them. From within the circle, a pair of slender legs stepped out with a voice saying, you can just call me Miss, you know. Even so, she was slightly displeased. But since when did you notice this is an A-rank invisibility artifact? Park Min-chin simply replied gently, I didn't know at first either, but when we started talking about Kim Si-mun, I suddenly sensed a presence. He continued rambling on, anyway, what brings you here? You must be busy, you're in your final year, right? The female student casually sat on the desk without any discomfort and said, I was just bored. The academy doesn't mean anything to me anyway. Park Min-chin could only let out a sigh. If you're really bored, why not try participating in a match in the arena? But she replied, I just finished one. As if remembering something, she asked, didn't you watch my live broadcast? This made him embarrassed. I'm sorry. There was an unexpected report, so I didn't have time to watch. However, she grabbed the papers on the table while speaking. No need to apologize. As she read, she assessed the situation. Is this it? The report that surprised Manager Park. Only after a moment did Park Min-chin realize, but it was too late. Miss Yu Jong, you can't do that. This is top secret guild information. But her next words were like a slap to the manager's face. So what, I own the guild. But he still tried to take back the file. That doesn't mean, give it here now. The more Park Min-chin insisted, the more interested she became. Miss Yu Jong. Then she exclaimed, oh. The young lady had noticed a name on that list, Kim Si-mun. A blue light appeared right in the middle of the space. A large blue magic circle immediately opened. Kim Si-mun slowly stepped out from that circle. He stepped out with both feet to return to the real world. I'm back. Kim Si-mun dove onto the soft bed as if shedding a burden. Finally done. Now the system started displaying notifications. You receive additional experience points as a reward for ranking first in the tutorial. The bound characteristic Philosopher's Stone has absorbed a portion of the experience points. Your level has increased to 2. The level of the Philosopher's Stone has increased by 1. Kim Si-mun raised his hand to stroke his chin, looking contemplative. Considering the situation, if it weren't for the Philosopher's Stone, I could have reached level 3. After saying that, he switched to another category status window. The system quickly displayed the information status window title, Pioneer of Alchemy, and 2 other titles. Class Magic, Level 3, Affiliation Republic of Korea, Strength 4, Agility 4, Stamina 5, Alchemy Power 11, Remaining Stat Points 2, Characteristic Philosopher's Stone 1, Achievement Points 12, 300. After viewing this information, Kim Si-mun couldn't help but exclaim, Strength, Agility and Stamina are still far behind Alchemy Power. For some reason his face was still full of confidence. It's a big difference, but that's actually an advantage. Kim Si-mun clenched his fist. Why? Because a lower level, but a higher Philosopher's Stone level will be advantageous in the arena. A series of new ideas formed in his mind. The idea is very simple. In the arena where fighters of similar levels battle, everyone is level 3. Kim Si-mun was secretly planning to be ready for battle, but if I secretly hide my real level? He imagined himself fighting simulated level 3, Philosopher's Stone 2. The opponent on the other side would become weaker, level 3. At this time, Kim Si-mun would stand under the brilliant halo of victory. This will create better stats than any other innate stat. He crossed his arms looking extremely smug. Very good, now let's check the titles. Kim Si-mun tapped the text on the screen, Title Pioneer of Alchemy, and 2 other titles, Type Magic, Power. The screen now displayed a long text box, Pioneer of Alchemy, a growth-type title for an alchemist who has synthesized all the legendary creations of alchemy, provides a small amount of bonus points related to synthesis activities. After reading these lines, he didn't find anything strange. This title hasn't changed at all. Kim Si-mun recalled Mayeolsuk's words. Damn it, getting more titles is really hard, annoying. He knew he would face many difficulties, but even Mayeolsuk had said it was very hard to upgrade her title. Suddenly, the info panel jumped to another section, Tutorial Dominator, a title for the person who achieved overwhelming first place in the tutorial. The Celestial Arena highly values promising newcomers. Kim Si-mun only discovered this now and was astonished. Oh, a new title. But it seemed this didn't satisfy his desire, so there are no other benefits. However, Kim Si-mun didn't want to ask for more. Alright, titles are usually like that for some reason. Titles were underestimated even in my previous life. It's strange that I received a growth-type title right from the start. He was extremely satisfied with this perfect result. But this is fine too. The system turned yellow and displayed text collecting titles will upgrade the level of the achievement tier, Achievement Shop. Seeing these lines, Kim Si-mun immediately thought, the achievement shop unlocks at gold rank or higher. To buy stats they're collecting titles is necessary. He was now extremely hesitant, unsure what to do. Now then, where should I invest the remaining stat points? The system was displaying remaining stat points too. Kim Si-mun sat down on the bed and pondered for a moment. Should I invest everything into transmutation power? The Philosopher's Stone is very strong, but it cannot break the fundamental law of equivalent exchange in alchemy. His mind was in intense psychological conflict. Alright, I've already spent 1,000,000 points. What's another 500 points? To solve this problem, I need transmutation power. Why am I even thinking like this, damn it? Kim Si-mun put his hand on his forehead, thinking hard. But I can't completely ignore physical stats just to focus on transmutation power. Even among high-level mages, physical ability sometimes makes the difference. This decision is really difficult. He reached out to touch the system screen. At the very least, I should raise it to the average awakening level of 5 and consider distributing stats separately. He reached out to touch the system screen. At the very least, I should raise it to the average awakening level of 5 and consider distributing stats separately. Suddenly something made Kim Si-mun stop immediately. Wait a minute. He lightly touched the spot on his chest. Philosopher's Stone, let me ask you something. As long as equivalent exchange is possible, you can transmute anything, right? The Philosopher's Stone inside heard this and replied with a line of symbols. Kim Si-mun quickly asked another question. So is human transmutation possible? He sat there but still didn't see the stone answer. No answer. Kim Si-mun thought again and realized his question was ridiculous. Well, that's understandable. Human transmutation is considered taboo in alchemy. Images of monsters appeared in his mind again. But I know very well chimeras are the most prominent result of human transmutation. Sometimes they appear as monsters in the arena. But then Kim Si-moon thought about the present day when things have developed. However, they can also be used for good purposes, just like science has advanced on 21st century Earth. Suddenly, the Philosopher's Stone replied again using symbols. Kim Si-moon was startled and asked himself, will I really only use it for good? He seemed quite calm, even smiling. That's my intention. My plan is to use it only to elevate myself. Suddenly thinking of something, Kim Si-moon's expression changed. But if I encounter a critical situation, I can't promise. His face became serious again, clenching his fist with determination. Anyway, I have goals to achieve. Seeing this, the Philosopher's Stone said something again. Hearing it, Kim Si-moon calmly replied, I know. I am fully aware of the dangers of human transmutation. Suddenly, the Philosopher's Stone uttered another sentence. Kim Si-moon's face instantly changed, becoming extremely panicked. What, isn't that what you were worried about? He became confused, not understanding what was happening. An item opposing the jade tablet. What are you suddenly talking about? Kim Si-moon touched his chest and continued talking to the stone. So you're talking about an item like the jade tablet that contains the knowledge of your faction? The Philosopher's Stone immediately replied with symbols.